Hello, fellow teacher candidates. Welcome to our lesson plan video presentation. My name is Maggie Laurin. I have teamed up with Dave Sr. to develop a lesson plan for a joint area of communication technology. Over to you, Dave.
Thanks, Maggie. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Maggie and I will discuss our lesson plan and how we incorporated our curriculum philosophies while developing it.
We also integrated multiple intelligence theory with the specific curriculum expectations from the guide. This way, we have created a lesson that can engage as many student aptitudes as possible.
But before we jump into our lesson and the delivery techniques we used, we'd like to take a few moments to introduce ourselves to you fine folks. Maggie was trained as a graphic designer and worked in industry as an in-house designer for companies ranging from small screen printing companies to global Royal Canon Incorporated of Mars. After years as a designer, she left that role to grow into a marketing manager. While she loved all the opportunities and experiences gained, the call to being an educator wouldn't bypass her. Maggie runs her own Etsy shop as a side hustle while also keeping tabs on her 3 young kids aged 2, 4, and 6. Maggie's educational philosophy is that you learn best by doing. Hands-on collaboration and experimentation are right up her alley, and she has been a great partner for this first group project.
Oh, ha 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 ha. You're too kind. Dave Sr. has had a successful career working on movie sets, television shows, and video game studios. He also plays the bass in a band with his fiancée, Gail. Dave has always wanted to be an educator, and since the film industry has been shut down, he has decided to get certified as a teacher. Dave's educational philosophy involves reaching every student by incorporating his lessons with multiple intelligence theory and the Ontario Curriculum Guidelines.
Thanks, Maggie. I couldn't have said it better myself. I feel everyone has now had a chance to get to know us better, and it's time to finally sink our teeth into the lesson. Don't worry, Maggie and I will give a detailed account of all the resources and delivery techniques we used during the video at the end.
Well, let's get to it. That's right. Today we are going to be teaching camera angles and movements. This lesson hits many of the curriculum guidelines and incorporates multiple intelligence theory, which is great because it ties in perfectly with Dave's educational philosophy. First, a demonstration and explanation of the terminology. Second, a storyboard worksheet detailing camera angles and movements with terms and images. Third, a safety meeting. And fourth, practical group work.
For the first part of the lesson, we will be giving a demonstration using a camera that will be projected on the screen in front of the class. During the demonstration, we will detail terminology of various angles and movements. This section of the lesson will end with a follow-up discussion with the students. Students who favor linguistic intelligence will do well on this part of the lesson, as they will associate the terms with the examples from the demonstration. This part of the lesson also covers expectation A2.1 on page 52 of the Ontario Curriculum Guidelines, which states, "The students will demonstrate an understanding of communications technology terms and will use them correctly in oral and written communication."
The second part of our lesson involves a storyboard worksheet. The students will use a combination of hand-drawn sketches and identifying correct terminology linked to movie stills to demonstrate their knowledge of camera angles and movements. This will help drive home the understanding of camera angles and movements, especially those students who benefit from work involving spatial intelligence. The storyboarding incorporates expectation B2.5 on page 54 of the Ontario Curriculum Guidelines when the students use hand-drawn sketches to compare camera angles and movements.
The third part of our lesson requires the students to actively participate in a safety meeting. The safety meeting will cover applying safe work practices when performing communications technology tasks, which incorporates expectation D1.2 on page 56 of the Ontario Curriculum Guidelines.
Now the final part of our lesson has the students breaking into groups and armed with a camera and a tripod will go out into the world to safely film examples of each camera angle and movement, and will showcase the difference between a dolly, a truck, and a zoom. Group work will be great for those students with interpersonal intelligence. and those students with bodily kinesthetic intelligence will enjoy the hands-on work with the camera and tripods. The students will edit the film camera examples and present them into the next class. That concludes our lesson on camera angles and movements. Thanks for sticking with us. Before we wrap things up, Dave and I would like to talk to all of you about our delivery techniques that we utilize to make this video for you. By making a video lesson ahead of time, you can use communication techniques like editing, graphics, music, and voiceovers. Before we get into that, let's look at how Dave and I created this video, step by step. Planning is the first step. We met in the Blackboard classroom and we talked over our lesson plan. We then came up with the idea for all of this video and then started breaking down all the things involved.
Once we had our lesson plan worked out, we had to figure out how we were going to stay on the same page. I wrote a quick script for us to follow for this video, and I passed it over to Maggie.
I took Dave's script and made storyboards for this video so we had a blueprint for a video presentation. Using these storyboards, Dave and I were able to coordinate remotely to ensure the highest quality for this presentation. We filmed our respective parts and I completed all the graphic elements and sent everything back to Dave.
Then I took all the elements from both of us, and using Maggie's awesome storyboards, I had a game plan to edit this video. If you have never edited a video before, do not worry. This is a very easy skill to learn, and in the digital age, it may become necessary. I use a free editing software called DaVinci Resolve, and it is amazing. I will include a link to some great editing tutorials in the discussion board after class. While editing, I was able to add music, implement the graphics Maggie created, and utilize entertaining transitions.
One of the best reasons for a pre-recorded lesson is the ability for a student to pause, rewind, and rewatch any part of the video at their own pace. And we hope you come back and review this video and these techniques to help you in your own lesson planning. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed making it.
Thank you, everyone. This has been a lot of fun. If anyone has any questions or would like to talk more about what they've seen in the video, please reach out to Maggie or myself. We'd be happy to discuss it further. This has been Dave and Maggie, and we'll see you all next time.